Action, what did you find out specifically in regards to fit and proper testing? Were people fit and proper in terms of the capital required to start the business? Did they have that capital? What exactly did you uncover?
Okay, you do fit and proper test at the point of licensing. Okay, but after that, the circumstances can change. After that, they can misbehave. So in the law now, if we determine that after passing them, after approving them, they've changed, their character has changed, their behavior has changed, we're able to jump in and take action. So fit and proper is at the time of licensing, and at the point of adding new people, new shareholder want to check his background, new director want to check his background, and so on and so forth. But after that, once they are approved, down line when we see that their behaviors are changing, we have a basis to determine they are no longer fit and proper. Bank of Ghana has authority under section 68 and 9 of the new act to be able to make those determinations.
So which of the breaches dominated your actions?
So essentially we saw corporate governance breaches, behavior of the key parties, behavior of their related parties. We saw monies moving in between them. In line with the law, there's a limit to what they can do. In line with the law, there's a limit on related party transactions. We found out over the period they exceeded those limits. Okay, so that was part of the problem, essentially. Essentially, yeah.
Why will the central bank want to essentially separate itself from all that has happened? Is the central bank saying that it takes no responsibility for what's happened over the years?
The central bank shouldn't take responsibility.
Why so?
What we have said is from the moment they are licensed, we have regulations, we have processes. We make requirements of them to submit returns to us. These returns come in weekly, as in liquidity, they come in monthly, as in balance sheets, and so on. They come in quarterly, as in profit and loss statements. And then around those prudential returns, we have ratios. We check those ratios and make sure they are compliant with requirements. All right, so we do this work, and occasionally, based on the risk profile, we jump in to do on-site exam, which takes us to the institutions. So we're able to visit, we're able to check the books, and so on and so forth. On-site, we have the ability to confirm, figures they've sent to us and so on. So for a while, we found out that the returns were coming in, and we had issues with the returns, and we're able to get them to fix, to make those corrections. So we've done off-site, we've done on-site, we've done prompt corrective actions. We jump in to apply penalties and get them to correct their errors.
You're suggesting that you did your work?
We did our work. We did our work. As I said, every regulated financial institution occasionally will make mistakes. Everywhere around the world, you give them a license, you give them a body of rules.
You have the capacity.
We have. Yes, we do.
To go around the country and to supervise.
We do.
These companies.
We do. We have to admit that with the sheer numbers that have been licensed up to the end of 2015, that stretched our supervisory resources a bit. But from 2016, for late 2015 and 2016, for a big part of that, additional staff were added. We had the bank recruiting staff. So we caught up. We caught up in terms of numbers. In terms of numbers, having more people recruited, people with the skill sets required, people with some experience in examination, auditing, and so on. So I've joined the team. So Central Bank cannot admit responsibility for the share numbers were licensed for a while. Supervisory challenge, following these institutions. We've caught up because additional staffing have been given to us. We have trained, we have skilled them to be able to help us do this. So as we speak, we have good numbers on the ground to be able to focus on these institutions in an off-site manner, given the data that comes in, given the analysis that is done, and then we'll follow up when we see a signal of wrongdoing, signal of breach, then we'll jump in with those supervisory interventions, and then when it's not working, the problems will become structural. Then we put in these cease and desist actions. Beyond that, then we move into resolvability. You are at the place where you need additional capital. So we encourage some of them. We explore that as well. We encourage some of them to merge. I'm happy to note that a few of them were, not the numbers we wanted to see, a few of them were able to talk to each other and have mergers and so on that were approved by us. And quite a number also had the opportunity of introducing new capital, new partners, new investors, and so on and so forth. So we exhausted that. We have to keep in mind these are private limited liability companies. Under the law, we don't have liquidity support for these institutions. Liquidity support under the law is for banks, which are the major players, the significant financial institutions. For these smaller ones, given their numbers and given the way the law is constructed, we don't have, liquidity support we could give them. We have to work with them in this manner. We have to guide them, and then when they were erring, when they were going off, we have to bring them back, and that's what we'll be able to do. For the most part, I pointed out the governance issues, governance challenges we've had, behavior of some of these people. I pointed that out. We've seen those. We've mentioned that over a period, some of them have been handed over to law enforcement to look at their conduct. We've done the supervisory part, the regulatory part, and so on, which we are happy with.
How many of them?
In terms of?
Have been handed over for prosecution?
For investigations, for law enforcement to look at them, about 30. About 30 in the beginning, and there's a process to be added.
Microfinance?
Yeah, microfinance.
Shareholders?
Microfinance operators. Owner and shareholder, key, because at the point we began to see misconduct or misconduct, misbehavior. We once we determine those, we are not empowered to investigate. So we pass them on to law enforcement.
Are we likely to see a lot more prosecution?
I know that the work is far advanced. I can't give you the numbers. You probably have to look for the appropriate law enforcement to speak with. But we saw these things, and